Shalom, family. It's good to see everybody here. I hope everybody is enjoying your day. We're going to go over what's going on at Tesla in California. So, we all know Elon Musk. He runs probably one of the most known racist businesses in America, because every time you turn around, there's some story on racism going on at that California plant. Yes, good old liberal California, you know, claim to be so liberal, but the liberals are really no different than the conservatives when it comes down to racism. They're neck and neck. But Elon Musk, as long as he's been in business, you mean to tell me you can't get that under control? Actually, when you see this going on repeatedly in a business, they don't want it under control. They really don't. So now he is going to have to pay attention to this big lawsuit that's now on him. And, you know, I'm not surprised. Look at the mindset on Elon Musk. So I'm not surprised this is happening at his company. Unfortunately, workplace racism and discrimination is commonplace here in America. Racism is like the American Express card for these folks that are running things. They can't leave home without it. So let's get into it, and then when you talk about it, they try to act like the person talking about the racism is just as bad as the racist. That is so false. It's not even funny. You couldn't make that true on your best day. So let's get into it. Right. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Hopefully you can all see the screen. Just give me a one if you can see the screen. Thank you. Okay. All right. So this story comes out of Tesla, and they said this is very close to 6,000 Black employees are now in a lawsuit against Elon Musk. And a judge just said they can move forward with this lawsuit. So I guess they were trying to shut it down and it didn't work. So almost 6,000 Black workers at Tesla Inc., California. This is a factory, the actual factory. They can now sue the call. I can't even talk today. What's going on? Almost 6,000 Black workers from Tesla Inc., California's factory, can sue the car maker collectively over claims that it failed to protect them from racism under a tentative ruling by a California judge. So this ruling just came in this past Wednesday. And the this came out of Alameda County Superior Court. Judge Noel Wise said Wednesday the workers should be allowed to proceed with class action status because Tesla alleged pattern or practice of failing to take reasonable steps to prevent discrimination was a common issue for all the Black workers at the Fremont plant. And that's the same plant that you saw other lawsuits come out of. So this is like what, about the third, fourth, it may even be beyond that. It is just so much discrimination. And at this point, Elon Musk is a fool because whoever owns the plant, you are supposed to make sure this stuff is not happening. Obviously, the work environment, when you go in that work environment, he's letting those white employees do whatever the hell they want. Well, those white employees are costing you millions and possibly billions in lawsuits. So, hey, I guess if you got deep enough pockets, Elon Musk, I guess have at it. Keep digging. The judge gave Tesla until Thursday to contest her ruling and schedule a hearing for Friday for the parties to argue their position. The lawsuit was filed in 2017, so it's been quite some time, 7 years, by Tesla worker Marcus Vaughn, who claimed that the factory production floor was a hotbed of racist behavior. According to the complaint, coworkers and supervisors routinely use racial slurs, and employees complained to human resources, and everything largely went unanswered. Yeah, see, that's why you don't get anywhere whenever you're experiencing workplace discrimination, because chances are the workers are white and the supervisors and managers are white. So you don't get anywhere with your complaint. And plus, that really is a sign right there that they agree with what's going on. If they're not willing to do anything, then they agree with it. Tesla initially responded to Vaughn's lawsuit with a blog post, hotbed of misinformation, denying any wrongdoing and saying the company had fired 3 people after probing alleged incidents. Well, how do you know it was just those 3 people involved? How do you know it was way more? Usually, let me tell y'all something, when white people get on a racist roll, they usually do it in packs. It is not just no 3 people. It was probably the majority of them in there, because that's how they do it. That's how they do it in society. So, anyway, Tesla representatives did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Wednesday's ruling. So, the case, if you want to see it, it is Vaughn versus Tesla Inc. And I think this is the doc number. It's R as in Ray, G as in Greg, 1788 2082, and it's filed at California Superior Court in Alameda County. So if you want to look at the actual legal docs, you can go out there and look at it yourself. You know what? I'll just post the doc because I know a lot of people like to do that. I do myself too. If the court docket is out there, I like looking at it a lot of times, especially when it's dealing with a case involving our people. That's it right there. I just posted it. And workplace discrimination is probably centuries old in America, and it has never improved. It has never gotten better because a lot of times they do these things with the assumption that the black man or women or groups of people aren't going to do anything. But one thing I am happy to see, y'all, is our people are now not letting it slide anymore. Probably over like the last 10 to 15 years, I have really seen our people step up with these lawsuits, and in many cases have won, and years ago, most people probably would have just gone to another job, would have just left that job and went somewhere else. But really, out here in the workforce, there's really not too many places or any place you can go to where you don't feel some degree of discrimination, and that's by design. They do that on purpose. But I'm glad to see we are now fighting back. I've probably seen more lawsuits over, especially when I first came on YouTube and started doing videos, I really saw our people rising up with these lawsuits, and I'm real glad to see that. And heard every story you can imagine, the racial slurs, the hanging nooses on the job, writing, you know, racial slurs on bathroom walls. That seems so childlike to me. You know, it seems so childlike, but this is what they do. And it's just straight up harassment. But hey, if Elon Musk got all this money, then good. Let them keep hitting him in a wallet. That's what he deserves as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, you fired 3 people. Well, obviously, that was not good enough to stop the lawsuit. But I heard way back years ago all of the stuff going on at this plant. It's been so just from this one California plant, it's been so many lawsuits on this particular company. And I remember I was looking at one and Elon Musk said, I did talk to the employees. I told them to stop. I said, you know damn well your people don't be stopping when you tell them to stop being a race. They don't stop. And he knows that. But good. Now that these lawsuits are up in your face, I bet you it ain't so funny anymore, is it? That's one thing. Okay, y'all gonna be who you are, but I don't understand how a multi-million dollar or billion-dollar company would allow one employee to come in here and start all this racism, and then y'all gonna let it happen and think there's never going to be consequences for it. But this is how they think. I guess they think, you're going to just put up with it and you're going to be scared to do anything. People ain't scared of all that racism anymore. This is not the 1950s and people are not scared. You know, I guess some of y'all have not evolved to 2024. People are not shaking in their boots over racism. Now they are lawyering up. Okay, if they had a fear, they wouldn't even come after you legally. The fact that you see them coming legally is showing you they can't be that scared for real. Mhm. That's why I don't support anything Elon Musk is involved in. I really don't. If I see just like Twitter, now he got paid subscriptions just because Elon Musk owns Twitter. I will never give it one red cent, y'all. I mean, not well, it's X now, but just because he is the owner of it, I will never give one red cent for a subscription over there. I'd rather go to Netflix and do a Netflix sub. I'm not going over there to do his. I still go over there, but I'm a freebie, and that's the way I'm gonna remain over there. We shouldn't be giving our money to owners of corporations, and they got all this racism going on and they're not doing anything about it. You should never give somebody like an Elon Musk and all of these other CEOs and people out here any of your backing when stuff like this is going on. Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to give you your mod back. I don't know how that got removed. I did not remove, in fact, no one from being a mod. So if that gets taken away, you have to let me know. I don't do that. Usually when I mod someone up, you would have to be extremely bad for me to take that away. Hi, Carlette. So that's where this stands. I'm good. Good for those 6,000 employees that aren't taking that crap. Good for them. And while they're looking at all the discrimination, what they need to also look at is the salaries, because you know how they like to lowball us on the salary. They need to look at the salaries of what those racist employees were making opposed to what they were making and make him rectify that as well. Mhm. I mean, and the thing is, what I wanna know is exactly what some of these employees went through. Now, I saw the one black man that won a lawsuit against Tesla and everything he went through. That was pretty bad, but I would love to see if any of the other employees would eventually come out in the media to tell exactly the things that were happening to them on a regular basis. 6,000, that's a lot of people. It would be good to hear what they went through. Yeah, look, my dad was a United Auto Worker, and he told me the reason why he didn't feel it as much as some of the other employees. My dad, he was a forklift operator. He was for many years. He was a senior operator because he was there for so long. And all the forklift operators where my father worked when he worked for the Bud Company, they were all black men. All of them were, even his foreman. The foreman was black. So, because they were all black in that department, he didn't feel it as much. He said that was really the only reason why he didn't feel the discrimination like people in some of the other departments did, but he said it was definitely there because he would hear it from some of the employees that worked in different departments. It's just that where he was, it happened to be all the forklift operators were black men. So they weren't feeling it like that. And they pretty much left them alone, especially when you got to be a senior up in there. They didn't bother the seniors a lot, but some of the younger employees, they went through it a lot more. But yeah. And all they did was they load the trains with auto parts. That's all they did. So they would just use the forklifts and go, and they would literally drive inside of the train and just place every box in there until the train was full and took off with all of the auto parts. And that's all he did. Made good money, took care of a family on it, put us through college on it. It was a good living for him at that time. Oh, I tell you what, if you lived in Philadelphia, if you lived in Philly, everybody and their dog worked at Bud. It was one of those. And if you lived up in Pittsburgh, everybody and their dog worked for Pittsburgh Steel. And some of y'all folks up there from Pittsburgh, y'all know exactly what I mean. You couldn't run into anybody when you got up in that area that did not work for Pittsburgh Steel. So many people, so many of our brothers and sisters work there. And if you were in the city of Philadelphia, Bud, that was the place. Mhm. So y'all, I hope y'all fight a good fight and win. That's all I can say to the black employees in California. I sure hope you guys prevail in your lawsuit. It should be coming to a conclusion. If they filed this in 2017 and this is 2024, that's 7 years. It should be coming to a conclusion. It might be still another year or two, but it should be coming to a close really soon. So, y'all, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for coming and listening. Let me see right here. Heat, she, her. Thank you for the super sticker. And Marla Santos, thank you for becoming a new channel member. All right. So, everybody, just be on the lookout for my next videos coming out. And, we'll come together again with another live stream if I can find a good topic. Shalom, family.